What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 99 of my Tracksuit to the Top series here in Lewis FC. And today, I've got for you guys the European Super Cup kind of final, I guess, because there is only one stage to it. It's the winners of the Champions League, which is us, against the winner of the UEFA Cup, which is, of course, CSKA Moscow. So that's a big game to look forward to today. If you missed last episode, it was the introduction to the new season. We talked a lot about the new team and stuff and kind of new signings. There was a lot of detail covered there. This will be a slightly shorter episode. For episode 100, a few people have been asking me, kind of, what do I have planned? Is there something special going on? I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, and to be honest, I can't guarantee it'll be up for tomorrow, because if people want a longer episode, I'm thinking either an hour long or maybe even 100 minutes long episode. Realistically, I'm not going to be able to do that for tomorrow, because I am now recording videos on the days I'm doing them, and tomorrow's a bit of an odd day. But I digress. There will be a Lewis episode up. Episode 100, I'm going to try and do something different. It might be a little bit longer. There's a few other things in the back of my mind that I might try, so yeah, keep your eyes out for that in the near future. In terms of today, well, we are just going to be taking on CSKA Moscow. Looking at our team for today, I've changed a few things up. Of course, if you missed last episode, it was a defeat against United. We went with a backline of Harayan, Morris and Carlini last game, and I decided to change things up. Today we're going to go with Morris out at left back. A very good kind of centre defender, but also can play left back, and that's his kind of natural position. So I kind of feel like playing him in the left centre defensive mid position, left centre back position will work for us. We then have Carlini, who's going to play at the right, who's right footed, kind of logical. And then in the middle of these two, I'm going with Manning today, who was a player who we signed last year from Manchester City. Good English player, fairly young. We signed him for 1.8 million, but to be honest, he didn't make that big a remark last year. Yes, he had some good performances when he did play, but he wasn't kind of a core component of our team. We signed him for £1.8 million, which is a crazily good deal. The reason I'm playing him at the centre of the three is, well, firstly, because he's right-footed, so he wouldn't be able to play out on the left, but also because he has absolutely incredible aerial ability. He is a giant among men at almost 200 centimetres tall, 18 jumping, 19 heading, some decent core defensive attributes too. He's not the fastest, so he's not going to be too good covering, and I feel like that suits him a lot better to kind of be in the centre point, I guess, of our kind of defence. In terms of other players missing, Reitmeier is currently out with an injury. He should be back for the start of the season, fingers crossed, back to full fitness in 3 days. Pedrera has 2 to 4 weeks left of his broken leg injury. Michal, Orlando and Cotran, or Jeff, we need to set the nickname. People were like, what should we... well, if you watched last episode, you'll know, won't you? We had a little kind of thing where I said, we need a nickname for Jeff. I think people said his name was Cochrane. I've decided we're just going to call him Jeff. It's a simple name. It's not perhaps as catchy as Ronaldo or Neymar. It's quite simplistic, really, Jeff, but I think it suits him. He's a simple fellow. Look at him. He looks like he's come straight off the farm. He's got 23 goals in 28 for Belgium. He's one of a few players out on international duty still. They will be back. I think they're back for the second game of the season. I'm a little bit confused as to why they're away. I think it might. In fact, I want to come up with a theory, but I honestly don't have a theory as to why they're on international duty still. So answers on a postcard if you know why a German, a Brazilian and a Belgian are away on international duty and everyone else has come back. That almost sounds like the setup for a joke, doesn't it, involving those nationalities. But anyway, in terms of today's team, pretty solid all in all. Making a few changes, and I'm actually going to make some last minute changes because I'm indecisive as hell. I'm going to drop China for this game, and we're going to play with Paul Scholes at the defensive midfield kind of position of left centre mid, and then right centre mid we'll play Leon at box to box. I was contemplating playing him in the deeper role, but he's just so bad defensively, I'm probably not going to chance it. In fact, I say he's bad defensively, he's not actually terrible. It's more so a case of that, well, he's not great at it. And we need greatness today. Because CSKA are not going to be any pushovers. You can see here, he's okay. He's okay. So that's the team. Not going to change our system, I don't think. If we take a look at CSKA Moscow real quick, you can see they've still got Akin Fayev as their big man. They've also got Vitinho, I think that's how you'd say his name, the Brazilian. I believe he starts for them in-game. You can see here, he's actually taken up Russian nationality, which is a little bit bizarre, but he has 45 caps for Russia. I don't recall seeing him do that in any of my other saves, so there you go, examples of FM doing its kind of unique things and different things every save. If we look at their recent kind of competitions, have they won anything recently? So they won the Europa League, actually, obviously, this year. That's why we're playing them. They've won the Russian Premier League most recently. They've dominated it for spells, but they have finished runner-up a few times recently. They came runner-up in the Russian Cup, and they keep coming runner-up in the Russian Super Cup. Oh, and they won the Under-19s Champions League 2 years ago. So there you go, fun facts of the day. Looking at it, current holders, Olympiacos. A little bit bizarre, that. I guess that Copenhagen holding it as well is equally as odd. But there you go. There you go, Copenhagen, Titans of Europe. So, there is actually one little transfer to tell you about that is still going on. I mentioned it last episode, but Ajeda is still potentially on his way in. He's now accepted to come on loan. He looks like he'll be a good kind of extra striker for us to have. Not the bravest striker, not the best kind of technically, but he has some really fantastic physicals, good aerial ability, reasonable finishing, composure, and off the ball perhaps let him down. His mental's kind of his low note, but to get him in on loan for a year I think is going to be pretty useful for us all in all. So anyway, that's the team that we have. That's what's going on there. There's also a few younger players we're signing. We've got this guy, Julian Cardona, I guess it would be, joining us in January when he turns 18. So he looks like he could be an okay player. Has some potential. Just one of these players who I've really taken a punt on and will try and sell on for some money down the line. You can see we brought him in for 550k. And one more player, a Swedish player. I don't remember talking about this guy before, but we have this guy here, Heikki. I guess we'll go with Sjöstedt. I hope I did that name justice. But he's 19. He looks okay. Again, a player who's just coming in for cheap and will probably sell on for some money. In fact, he joins us on a free. I believe his contract was expiring. So I've taken on a few more of these players to really expand our under-21 side. Because to be honest, whilst we have a fairly good team, if I just show you the under-21s here, it's not stacked. Yes, there's some players with some really decent talent here. A few of them are out on loan. But it'd be nice to try and start getting our under-21s team kind of competitive. You can see it looking at our finances. We've got 30 million in the bank. The sales that we made this year have suited us well. One other little thing just to note, a few people mentioned this and I didn't touch upon it last episode, but we are currently playing at Brighton Stadium, the American Express Stadium. The reason for that being is that we're currently in the process of expanding our stadium, as you guys know. And despite it being a fairly minor expansion, if I remember correctly, for whatever reason, in fact you can see here it's going to be expanded by 8,000 seats. Despite that, we need to move out. So our actual new capacity is going to be 23,000, and that's going to be in April. Realistically, that's going to need expanding again immediately. I don't even know how big the new Lewis Stadium is going to be, but that could actually end up being an issue whereby we can't expand it by as much as we need. Because, to be honest, we could easily probably fill a 30,000 seater stadium at this point, and we're building up a fan base, I guess. Recent success has helped that, but I guess the expanded stadium's something to keep an eye out on. Other stuff here, just quickly: established youth recruitment, excellent junior coaching, impressive training facilities, good corporate facilities, and great youth facilities. So that's pretty decent. It is kind of a long-term aspiration, I guess, of mine, to get us to a stage where all our facilities are as good as they can be and we really start to produce some decent regens at our own club. As you guys all know who have been watching this series, really I've not had an amazing regen to speak of through my own youth intake. I've relied very much on signing other players and other young prospects and then kind of, I guess, looking after them, almost kind of taking them on and under our club's wing. But it'd be nice to get a few players, you know, who are local, playing for the team in the future, who kind of appear at the club and spend careers at the club. But at the moment I just don't think that is kind of viable given our current kind of I guess facilities situation. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on at the club. Just adding a bit more, I guess, on what I didn't touch upon last episode, but there isn't a ton to tell you guys about. So anyway, we will submit our team here. You can see here that we are favourites at 5-4 to win. Prediction is that it'll be a close game and it'll likely come down to penalties. Hopefully that won't be the case. Of course, last episode we lost on penalties, so that's not what we want to see. And looking at it, they've copied our tactic. Outrageous. It's like a mirror image almost, except they've got slightly more attacking midfielders. Maybe we can look to capitalise on that. But anyway, going to tell the players to go out there and enjoy themselves. We're going to have a battle of the 3-4-1-2 v the 3-4-1-2 today. I think this is the first team I've seen using the same kind of shape and formation as mine. We will change our highlights back to being in 2D Classic with 3D goal highlights. Of course, that's just from last episode where we showed the penalties in 3D. But anyway, we're on the attack here early on. Edda, go on, my son. Oh dear. Oh dear. So Edda actually getting a chance. He's a player who we brought in on a Bosman, I believe, last January. There's a bit of a question mark around him, not really performing, but I think he's got some really good ability about him, and I'm hoping he's going to step up for us. Edda, if you want to work some... Okay, that was a terrible cross. Blame Edda. Oh gosh, they're on the... Who is that at right back? Carlini. Where has he gone then, the centre-back? He's just kind of... I don't know. Is he... There's the ice cream van pulled up at the side of the pitch. He just left his man. He just wandered off away. But anyway, we're on the attack here. Lewis running at the man. Gets tackled, but it will break to Martinez. Cutting inside. Martinez, can he put in a ball? No, he can't. No, he cannot. And now Flavio trying to launch a counter-attack. But we do get the ball back. Leon, Sonogo, Lewis, Tita. Is that a penalty? Of course it is. Zulu, I guess is his name. He could be off here as well because he was blatantly last man. I mean, I don't think you're going to get more last man than that. Referee? Okay. Sorry, I'm going into rant mode here. How is this not a red card? Is anyone covering him? No, maybe. Okay, I'll let off the ref. I was about to have a go at the ref, but there probably was a man on the cover. Anyway, is this Lewis? He scored last game for us despite us losing to United. Can he score again today? He can, of course he can. Take a bow, son. I think he got a penalty last game as well. Making it 1-0. A good start for us. Just 7 minutes in. Off the score sheet. And looking at it, to be honest, we've been the better of the two teams in the very early stages. Granted, CSKA did have a clear-cut chance on the counter, but 70% possession is a very commanding way to start kind of the very early stages of this game. Hopefully we can keep that going as this goes on. But anyway, in terms of the team for this year, I've not really made that many changes from last year. I guess we have in the final third, but in terms of our actual starting 11, the goalkeeper stayed the same. 2 new defenders coming in, 1 new striker, and then with the exception of that, the rest of the team is the same, all of our midfield. So really, 8 of the players who won the Champions League last year will be starting for us at any one point, and that's pretty pleasing as Lewis peels off his man at the back post. A beautiful goal for him there, 2-0, 3rd goal of the season. He's having a good start, isn't he? Very good start. Morris with the original ball out wide to Edda. Great ball to the back post, and well, Lewis scores there. Good to see Edda get the assist as well, because as I mentioned, a player who's been questioned, I guess, by our board. They were unhappy with the lack of first-team football he got at the end of last year and just during last year, although the Russians on the attack here. Musa whips the ball in. That is a great save by Kouakou, and it will be gotten away there. And now can we break? Tita. No, we can't. Of course we can't. So, another thing worth mentioning is a few people in the comments, there are only a few of you, and I'm not saying this actually critically, but you want Kouakou out. People demanding the keeper's head rolls and that we replace him. I'm quite happy with our goalkeeper as we're on the attack here. Can Lewis get a first half hat-trick? Of course he can. Bang, take a bow. Who is this man? What does he have for breakfast? Like, is he a test tube baby? I'm trying to work out how Lewis exists. How does he score so many? I don't even know at this point. Like, he has amazing attributes for a poacher. Great finishing, good kind of anticipation, good composure, everything that you need for a poacher he has in spades, and technically he's quite limited besides that, and he has good consistency according to my assistant, but I don't get how he scores as many as he does. Like, I guess his speed helps him as well, because speed is very important in the match engine. It's like, maybe he is a test tube baby. As Edda scores. Okay, this is a great game. I'm loving this. 4-0. Easy. Can't believe how well this is going. Did not have this down as this comfortable or a win. Tita, Leon, Sonogo. It's nicely worked actually at the edge of the area. And ended with a beautiful finish. A player who I might have to start just a little bit more. Didn't really give him a chance last year. I was kind of hesitant to disrupt the team. Of course, we are going to have Pedrera coming back. Matthew Lewis picking up a knock here. Might take him off if that kind of doesn't recover quicker. Zulu, who I think should be off the pitch, scores for them. Makes it 4-1. And this game's just burst life. I don't want to watch him tap it in. I don't. I'm sorry, Zulu. That goal was terrible. It was awful. Anyway, 4-1. Very good first half, boys. Delighted. I believe CSKA Moscow were one of the teams we may have played in our first knockout round during the Europa League in our first year in Europe. Someone can maybe dig up the archives or confirm or deny that. I'm pretty sure that's true, and I believe we beat them as well. So good to see that we have continued to move on from that. We are on the attack again here. Lewis, go on. Well, Zulu's off now. He should have been off sooner. He's scored, he's got a yellow, he's given away a penalty, and now he's got the red card. He's had a bit of an action-packed game. Can we score from the set piece, though? Who is this stood over it? Is it Sonogo? It is Sonogo. I know my team well enough to know who should be taking penalties and stuff and free kicks. Anyway, Eric, work your magic, please, eventually. After this build-up, this better go flying into the top corner. I feel like minutes of my life have been wasted. Come on, Eric. Bang! Oh, okay. Forgiven. 5-1. Take him out. Look at his hairdo. That definitely helps him when it comes to curving free kicks. I've decided. I was a bit worried that we were going to sit there for all that time and just because the red card had been given, that was the highlight. But Sonogo just ploughs it into the roof of the net. Bit of a knuckleball there, I think. And he's loving it, the Ivory Coast International. So we make it 5-1. And this is really comfortable, actually. Looking at the stats, we're not quite as dominant as we were early on. Possession isn't that kind of bigger a difference. I guess we've had a lot more shots than them. And I guess we've been a little bit more, perhaps, clinical with our opportunities. As Lewis has a chance, he probably should score that, speaking of clinical. That was anything but. So 5-1. Didn't have this down as a 5-1. I'm looking forward to next kind of episode, for episode 100. I should point out that I don't know what I'm going to do for it yet. I think it just will be the longer livecom. One little question. Would you guys like to see me livecom the very start of the season from the first game? Or would you rather that I go to about 5 games in the season and we start with the game against Manchester City? I kind of think my plan with next episode is going to be to either do an hour or 100-minute long episode where I hit a stop clock and pretty much, start recording. And kind of just leave the timer on, and I won't kind of have a set amount of games to go through like I sometimes do. It'll kind of just be a case of we play as much as we play in the time that I allow myself. So yeah, let me know. Manchester City game to start, or would you rather see perhaps me go from the very, very start of the season? But anyway, let's make a few little changes here. We're going to bring on Roberto. Matthew Lewis is a little bit tired, but I almost don't want to take him off. He's having too good a game. We'll put on a Corey. I think we'll also bring on Batagelli for Juan Carlos Leon, just because Juan is a player who I'd rather not see get injured, and I kind of feel very protective of him. I wish I could wrap him up in bubble wrap, really. Just because sometimes he gets injured. So we'll take him off just to be safe, but we're on the attack here. Ball gets whipped in. Martinez, can he do it the second time of asking the Colombian to Roberto, the sub? Batagelli almost on the end of it. Now Flavio looking to counter for them, but Mike Morris, cool and composed. I must point out, this episode we started with 3 English players in Mike Morris, Manning and Lewis. I think that's like the first time in years that we've had that many English players start a game for us. I kind of feel a little bit of a shame to say that, but I guess with the issues we've got with our facilities not being great and the overpricing of English talent in-game, it kind of explains that. As Lewis is through, oh, he's missed an open goal. It wasn't an open goal, but he probably should score. He's hit the woodwork. He's missed 2 clear-cut chances despite scoring 3. I feel like he could have more. He could have had the double hat-trick. But anyway, 10 minutes left on the clock. Time is slipping away. This is going to be another win, a very convincing win. I say another win. We lost the first game, of course. But I'm a little bit relieved, I guess, to get a bit of catalyst, I guess, for change. And I guess the Super Cup is a little bit more prestigious than the Community Shield, at least in my opinion. I think in FM terms it is as well, so the players might actually react quite nicely to winning this competition. And, well, win it we have. A very, very good win. And it's been comfortable for a while, but CSKA Moscow, the champions of Russia, but not the champions of Europe. Not that the winner of the championship, what would you call it? Not the Community Shield, the European Super Cup. I'm broken still. Not that the winner of the European Super Cup is officially the best team in Europe, but I think we have that mantle right now. We have played superbly, boys. Matthew Lewis with a man of the match performance. 3 goals for him, 2 assists for Sonogo, 1 for Eder, and a goal for him. Goal for Sonogo too. Some great performances out there today. And hopefully we can see more of that going into the start of the season. So anyway, that's going to wrap things up from me, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you're looking forward to episode 100. Just a quick thank you for your ongoing support in this series. It is really greatly appreciated. I'm one of England's great managers. Does that mean we've gone into the Hall of Fame? We have! Progress! Maybe we go for top of the Hall of Fame. Maybe that's the dream, to be the best English manager and maybe best world manager ever, although we might be here for a while if we go for that. But yeah, Jada's coming in on loan, so that's another issue solved. But yeah, as I was saying before I interrupted myself, I guess, thank you for watching, thank you for your ongoing support. I will see you guys for episode 100. Leave your comments down below. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.